What is going on, everybody? WeedleTwineedle here, and we are back again with some VGC content, except it's not technically VGC because, as you can see by both my team and my opponent's team, that we are using Pokemon that are not allowed in the VGC 2018 format because we are using a lot of strong legendary / event Pokemon, which are currently banned in the current VGC format. So you may be wondering, Weedle, why are you using Kyogre on your team? I thought you didn't use Tri-R Pokemon, but I can explain. So, one thing, Kyogre is one of my favorite legendary Pokemon. It was actually the first legendary I've ever captured in a Pokemon game because I know it's kind of sad, but Pokemon Sapphire was my first Pokemon game, not Gold or Silver or like Red and Blue Yellow. So Pokemon Sapphire was my first game, and so Kyogre was the first legendary I've captured, so it holds a special place in my heart. Another reason why I'm using Kyogre is because the ability Clawitzer has, Mega Launcher, it increases pulse moves and like spear moves and stuff like that. But I'm sure some of you guys don't know that Mega Launcher actually increases Origin Pulse's damage by 50%. So considering Origin Pulse has a really high base power already, if you can find a way to give Kyogre the Mega Launcher ability, which I have, then it becomes stronger than Water Spout, which is kind of crazy to think about. So I kind of put together a team keeping this in mind, and I hope you guys enjoy these battles. Alrighty, let's just hop right into this first battle against my first opponent today with a name I cannot pronounce because I'm not good at foreign names. So my opponent's gonna lead off with the Clefairy and the Mewtwo. As I decide to lead off with my Kyogre and my Clawitizer. So Kyogre and Clawitizer are out here. That's also a legit shiny Clawitizer I bred back in X and Y. I haven't really used it for anything in singles, so I decided to use it in the Devils format because it's the only Pokemon that gets Mega Launcher outside of Mega Blastoise. And Mega Blastoise doesn't get entrainment, so my opponent's going to Mega Evolve with Mega Mewtwo X because Mega Mewtwo X is very, very scary. I thought it'd be Mega Mewtwo Y, but I guess it's just Mega Mewtwo X, so I guess it's kind of cool. So my opponent's going to go for Snatch with Mewtwo, and I'm like, what is he thinking I'm going to use? Like, Calm Mind with Kyogre? Bitch, that's scary. So I go for the entrainment directly into Kyogre, because like I mentioned earlier on in the video, Mega Launcher does buff Origin Pulse's damage, so I'm like, yes, I get to nuke my opponent's team with Origin Pulse! Oh. My opponent goes for Belly Drum, and I'm like, what? The Uber Noobs are evolving. Back in the PBR days, you would never see this kind of shit being used, but nowadays, on the Battle Spot free ladder, people are pulling off some really weird techs and I've never ever seen before. So my opponent caught me off guard with that. I wasn't expecting this from my opponent because my opponent's team was like half of them didn't have items, so I'm like, psh, this guy doesn't know what he's doing, and then he just pulls out Snatch Belly Drum with Mega Mewtwo X. So I'm forced to go for Protect the Kyogre, go for the Icy Wind to get speed drops. However, my Kyogre has no speed investment, so Clawitzer can outspeed it. So yeah, I'm not going to be faster than the Mega Mewtwo X, and so I'm forced to go for Double Protect, as thankfully we do get the Double Protect because the game's rewarding me after missing Origin Pulse against both targets. My opponent's going to go for Follow Me just to redirect any damage targeted at Mewtwo, though I'm going to go for Origin Pulse anyway, so I feel like that was kind of silly. My opponent's going to go for Drain Punch on the Kyogre. That definitely would have O-coded me, but thankfully we got Double Protect, and now I'm able to go for a second Icy Wind and able to connect against both. And so hopefully, I'm really hoping that Kyogre will be able to outspeed Mega Mewtwo X at -2 speed, because I did get the Double Protect off. I got the 50% chance, so I'm really hoping that Kyogre can kill. So now I'm going to switch out a Clawitzer here because I don't really feel like it's going to be useful anymore. So now I'm going to bring in my Florges here, designed just for double battling. My opponent's going to go for the Follow Me yet again. I feel like that's just a waste of a turn, but that's just my opinion. I guess my opponent doesn't know what I'm about to pull out. Gonna go for an Origin Pulse in the rain, boosted by Mega Launcher, and ladies and gentlemen, these guys just drop. We do get a useless crit at Mewtwo, but we're able to take out Clefairy and the +6 Mega Mewtwo X with Origin Pulse, which was a miracle. Honestly, the Double Protect was a miracle. Now in comes the Arceus. My opponent must have tried to hunt for that Arceus for a long time, and my opponent's also gonna bring in Mew. Man, my opponent must have taken a long time to shiny hunt for these Pokemon. That's all I'm saying. So yeah, now I'm gonna go for, well, first my opponent's gonna go for Extreme Speed with the Arceus. I forgot about that, sorry. Now, you guys may recognize what I'm about to do from one of my previous battles. I'm gonna go for Petal Blizzard, and we're going to target everybody, including Kyogre, and we're going to activate our weakness policy. But that's not it, there's more. We are also going to pass Kyogre the choice specs with Symbiosis. My opponent's gonna go for Transform into Kyogre because he wants to be just like me. I guess having 3 Ubers wasn't enough for him. He needed to use Kyogre. But I'm going to go for Origin Pulse at +2 special attack with Choice Specs, with Mega Launcher, with Rain. Everything just drops. everything just drops. And that is going to be the end of the first battle. We're able to defeat my opponent with Mega Launcher Kyogre. Very, very fun. Alrighty, our second opponent today actually has a very stacked team because the Uber Noobs are evolving, people. My opponent has a Groudon, Tapu Lele, Deoxys attack form, and Ultra Necrozma. So, Tapu Lele with Deoxys attack form and Ultra Necrozma terrifies me, so I don't know how I'm going to combat those Pokemon. So I lead off with my Clotzer and my Kyogre, as my opponent's going to lead off with the Groudon and the Tapu Lele. So, Groudon could be a threat. I'm really hoping it is not Primal Groudon, but let's be real. Is there any reason not to use Primal Groudon? No. I don't think so. So I led off with Clotzer, keeping that in mind. My opponent was definitely going to lead off with this Groudon, as what do you know, Primal Groudon is going to evolve and turn into its much more badass form, but it's very, very busted, and you know, it's going to appear, look pretty cool, shiny, not gonna lie, and then it's gonna activate Desolate Land and get rid of my Rain. So all of my water type attacks are going to be nullified. So I'm gonna have to work around this thing, otherwise I'm screwed. So my opponent's gonna go for Psychic Turn 1 against Clotzer. Thankfully, Clotzer is able to live that miraculously. So my opponent's gonna get a little greedy here, going for Sword Stance, saying that he's completely safe, but girl. I thought about this before the battle even started. I go for Entrainment into Primal Groudon to remove its ability, give it the Mega Launcher, and the only reason I did that is to cancel out the Sunlight, so I will be able to go for Origin Pulse. We missed Tapu Lele, which is unfortunate, but we hit the Groudon, which is the important part, and Groudon's going to get O-Code because it's quad weak, and Primal Groudon gets soloed by a basic bitch Kyogre, which felt very, very good. But now in comes Necrozma. And you already know this is going to be Ultra Necrozma. Like, there's no reason not to use Ultra Necrozma. It's kind of like the same reason not to use Primal Groudon, but it's a little less of a case because you actually have to use up your Z Crystal and you can't hold any other items like that, which is kind of unfortunate. But yeah, the Ultra Necrozma is going to transform, which is very scary. I'm going to go for Protect, as my opponent's going to go for Psychic into Kyogre, thankfully, and my opponent's going to go for Photon Geyser into Kyogre, so we're able to guard ourselves against those moves. And now I'm going to go for Icy Wind against my opponent's team. Hopefully we'll be able to outspeed whatever we can, and Icy Wind's going to lower the Necrozma speed and lower Tapu Lele's speed. So hopefully Kyogre will be able to outspeed or something. But now I'm going to switch out to Kyogre because I want to reactivate my Rain, because I don't think I'll be able to break through my opponent's team without it. So I'm going to bring in Florges here to pivot into special type attacks. My opponent's going to go for Psychic, as Florges is able to tank that. I'm going to go for Heal Pulse into my Florges because I want to make sure I'm at healthy enough so I can take 2 attacks. And thankfully we do outspeed the Necrozma, and he's gonna go for Photon Geyser against the Florges, and that does so much damage. I have a lot of Split F investment, so that's very, very scary. But now I'm going to switch out to my Clotzer and bring back in my Kyogre because I know my opponent's probably going to target into Florges. I don't think my opponent thinks Clotzer is too big of an issue because it's just a Clotzer. Like, that's not what he's looking at. He's looking at the Kyogre as a threat, and the other Pokemon are non-factors, so that's how Uber players work. So he's going to go for Psychic into my Clotzer, surprisingly. I wasn't expecting that. Going to go for Petal Blizzard because I knew I'm going to switch Kyogre in. For obvious reasons, we're able to activate our weakness policy, and then we're going to be able to pass our choice specs directly onto Kyogre. So now we have +2 special attack with the Origin Pulse in the Rain with choice specs. So he's going to target down Florges, down goes Florges, and now Kyogre is looking scary. So now I'm going to bring in Seismitoad here, my Swift Swim Seismitoad. Now Seismitoad doesn't really have any offensive pressure, however, it does learn after you, and because of Swift Swim, we're able to outspeed my opponent's entire team. Going to be able to go for a +2 specs Origin Pulse in the Rain. We don't have Mega Launcher, unfortunately, but that doesn't matter. Down goes Ultra Necrozma and Tapu Balance. Down those bitches go. And the Psychic Terrain's going to disappear from the field. My opponent's last is the Deoxys attack form. Another legit shiny in my opponent's bar. Every single legendary you see in this video, by the way, that can be shiny, will be shiny. Like, if they are shiny locked, that's a different story. But if they can't be shiny, they will be shiny. That's one thing I've learned from Battle Spot free ladders, that every legendary is shiny. Unfortunately, the Deoxys has a Focus Sash, so he'll be able to knock out my Kyogre with the Thunderbolt. So unfortunately, the Kyogre raid bosses died, but it doesn't matter anymore. We still have a Seismitoad, and we still have Clotzer, so it doesn't really matter. With Swift Swim, I should be able to outspeed Deoxys because we did in the previous turn, so gonna be able to go for After You into my Clotzer. That could have been a choke if he had Extreme Speed. It could have targeted into my, like, Clotzer or something, but that's fine. After You into Dark Pulse, we'll be able to knock out the Deoxys attack form, and we're able to defeat my second opponent with a 2-0 victory. Alrighty, our third and final opponent is Daddy Sean. Finally someone with an English name so I can actually read it. So Daddy Sean today looks like he's packing a Justified Terrakion with beat up Weavile, the Necrozma Mega Rayquaza combination just for a backbone. This battle I decided to lead off with my Pheromosa and bring Kyogre and Mega Blastoise because I didn't bring those Pokemon in my previous battles and I wanted to showcase what they can do. So my opponent's gonna lead up with Terrakion and Weavile. As I decide to lead off with my Kyogre and my Pheromosa. So Pheromosa does have access to a move known as Speed Swap, which is going to allow me to fix my Kyogre speed problem because I have no speed investment on it. So that was why my Kyogre, or part of the reason why my Kyogre has no speed investment. On top of After You Seismitoad and Speed Swap, I also need Clawitzer to outspeed Kyogre so it can get the Mega Launcher on Kyogre before it gets to attack. So my opponent's going to make a very smart play here, going for Protect, expecting me to target his Terrakion with my Pheromosa. However, I felt like Kyogre can live a +4 Rock Slide, so I go for Speed Swap and a Kyogre to give it, you know, higher speed. My opponent's going to go for Icicle Crash and Protect, probably because he thought I would attack the Terrakion with my Pheromosa, and Icicle Crash is going to be able to knock out my Pheromosa. Sadly, we don't have a Focus Sash, we actually have Fight EMZ. I was unable to use it, but it's not that big of a deal because now Kyogre has a massive speed stat and I'll be able to outspeed everything on the field. I'm gonna go for Origin Pulse against my opponent's team. Weavile is not protected, as unfortunately it carries a Focus Sash as well, so we're not gonna be able to kill it this turn, but that's completely fine with me. I'm gonna be able to bring my Florges here, and because Kyogre got access to Speed Swap, I will be able to outspeed everything on my opponent's team. So I'm gonna go for Origin Pulse here. Unfortunately, we do miss the Weavile, which kind of blows. But I'm gonna go for Origin Pulse here, and that should OHKO Terrakion because it shouldn't have a Focus Sash because that'd be breaking Item Claws. Down goes Terrakion, so no beat up shenanigans for you, buddy. And now my opponent's gonna try to go for beat up. Nice try, but it didn't quite work for you. Now I'm gonna go for Paddle Blizzard, knock out the Weavile, hit Kyogre, and you already know we're gonna
activate our weakness policy.
It's really hard to get the weakness policy, the Mega Launcher, and the Speed Swap off in the same game, so I kind of have to pick which strategy I want to use in each battle. I want to use all of them, but you can only bring 4 Pokemon, so it's kind of a bummer. But now my opponent's going to bring in the Shiny Rayquaza. Shiny Rayquaza! Shiny Rayquaza! Let's go! And my opponent's going to bring in the Necrozma. So I'm like, am I going to have to face Ultra Necrozma and Mega Rayquaza at the same time?
Well,
please don't make that happen. You don't have to do that to me, man. You don't have to do me like that. My opponent's like, hell yeah, I do. He's going to transform into the fair and balanced Mega Rayquaza. And I'm just like, why? Why? And my opponent was just like, that's not enough. He's going to activate the Delta Stream to get rid of my Rain, which is going to make my Kyogre slightly weaker. And my opponent's going to activate the Bright Light and Burst with his Ultra Necrozma. And yes, we get to face both Mega Rayquaza and Ultra Necrozma at the same time. Meanwhile, I'm using like a baby bitch Kyogre in comparison to these gods. I'm going to go for Ally Switch with my Florges because I need to force the aggro into Florges. So I know they're going to target the Kyogre because that's what Uber Noobs do. Gonna go for Origin Pulse into my opponent's team. Hopefully we'll be able to knock out my opponent, but unfortunately, because he got rid of the Rain, we're not going to be able to OHKO the resisted targets. My opponent's going to go for Photon Geyser, target my Florges, really hoping he's a special variant, otherwise he'll get OHKO'd, but thankfully his special attack is higher than his physical attack. And now my opponent's going to go for Dragon Descent, and they'll be able to easily knock out my Florges. I'm pretty sure that would have killed me like 10 times overboard because Mega Rayquaza has a fair and balanced attack stat, but unfortunately Florges is going to go down, but it took one for the team because if Florges didn't die that turn, then Kyogre would have died. And now we get to bring in my Blastoise. So my Blastoise is actually a Blastoise that transformed from Gen 3. It actually has Mimic because I really wanted to use Origin Pulse with Mega Launcher, and so I'm like, okay, I can use Entrainment with Clawitzer on the Kyogre to give it Mega Launcher, but I can also use Mimic with Blastoise to give it Origin Pulse, so that way in case I'm unable to give Clawitzer, or give Kyogre Clawitser's ability, I can give Mega Blastoise Kyogre's signature move, but I'm unable to even do that because Kyogre steals the show. We're able to knock out Ultra Necrozma and the Mega Rayquaza with Kyogre, and Mega Blastoise does absolutely nothing in this battle, unfortunately, but that's fine. I got to tell you what Mega Blastoise is supposed to do. Mimic the Kyogre's Origin Pulse so they could just both spam Mega Launcher Origin Pulses, but it was a little bit of a gimmick strategy, obviously, hence why I'm using it on the free Battle Spot ladder, and because, you know, it's not VGC 2018, so I kind of had a little bit of fun with this battle. Hopefully you guys didn't mind the bit of change of pace against Ubers. I mean, it was probably a breath of fresh air for you guys, but for me, it was like, dear God, help me. But hopefully you guys enjoyed these battle spot battles against these opponents today. I got to showcase Origin Pulse Kyogre with Mega Launcher in only one battle, sadly, because getting that set up is really difficult against super stacked teams like that. But hopefully you guys enjoy those battles anyways. If you guys enjoyed these battles and really want to support my channel, let me know by leaving a thumbs up on the video, as it really helps out my channel a lot more than you think, and it's always appreciated. Anyways, the question of the day is going to be, which legendary Pokemon is your personal favorite out of all the legendary Pokemon throughout the Pokemon series? Let me know in the comments down below which legendary Pokemon is your personal favorite. It can be based off of viability and like a certain tier, it can be based off of lore, it can be based off of design, it can be based off of typing. Let me know in the comments which legendary Pokemon is your personal favorite and why. You can even include like basic bitch legendaries like Articuno or like Mesprit or something, or you can include like big dick legendaries like Groudon or like Deoxys or some shit like that. But me personally, my favorite Uber legendary, my favorite legendary is Articuno. That's not going to change. My favorite Uber legendary, which is what I'm going to be answering with for this question, is Kyogre, just because like I said in the beginning of the video, Pokemon Sapphire was my first Pokemon game, so of course Kyogre is going to be my first legendary Pokemon, and when I encountered that shit, I was so hyped, and it was like super intense. Like the battle music's super intense. Like I still go back and listen to like the Gen 3 legendary theme, and I still get goosebumps from the nostalgia. And like I love Kyogre's design. Like its color scheme's awesome. Its ability, like Drizzle's OP. It was the only Pokemon that had it at the time, and when I was a kid, I didn't know that Rain made it so Thunder couldn't miss. So when I caught Kyogre, I would just spam Thunder and it never missed. And I'm like, wow, legendary Pokemon are OP. And Kyogre was the second Pokemon I got to level 100. My first Pokemon I got to level 100 was my Blaziken. But to be honest with you guys, I'm not even lying. When I got the Kyogre in my Pokemon Sapphire playthrough, my Blaziken was like level 75. Now, why was it level 75? It's because I didn't know how to get through the game because I was like 8 or 9 years old. Okay, don't judge me. So my brother was like, yeah, the Elite Four is really tough. You're gonna have to grind up your Blaziken. So I spent like, I would assume like months grinding up my Blaziken for the Elite Four because like I don't know how I would get to level 75 from like level 30 Pokemon. And it's not like it was like a solo run either. I had like 2 or 3 Pokemon on my team which were decently leveled, but I guess it was basically a Blaziken solo run. But I mean, I caught Kyogre and I had it on my team and I was very happy with it, and I just like Kyogre overall. I think its primal form is pretty cool as well. I do prefer regular Kyogre over its primal form just because that's the form I started out with, so I don't know, I just prefer regular Kyogre over primal Kyogre. I think Kyogre's Gen 3 Cry is so badass, and in Gen 7, or I think it was Gen 6, they absolutely ruined it with the new revamped Cries, but that's just my personal opinion. But I'm rambling at this point. Let me know in the comments down below which legendary Pokemon is your personal favorite and why it is your personal favorite legendary Pokemon. But that's going to be the question of the day. Thank you guys so much for watching till the end of the video. I'll check you guys next time. Bye.